Hi! Here where I live in the United States, the 4th of July is rapidly approaching, so I thought I'd finally make this. I guess July 4th is approaching everywhere, but you know what I mean. So this video is not a commentary on the 4th of July itself. Please remember that. This video is about fireworks. Fireworks are a huge part of 4th of July. I fully realize fireworks are not just for 4th of July. They are a big part of New Year's and other celebrations and definitely holidays and celebrations throughout the world. I will not start naming them here because I will inevitably forget many of them. I just wanted to talk about it now because that is what is happening here where I live. But the thing about traditions like fireworks is I think people become very attached to especially things that they experienced in their childhoods, and if they end up having children, they want to share that with their children. I love the idea of traditions, but sometimes I feel like they need to be reevaluated, considering the situation we have in our world and considering the new things we know about how different things affect other people and animals in our world. So I do take issue with so many things about fireworks. I don't think there's one particular thing that bothers me more than anything else. I think all of these issues I take with fireworks equally bother me. Yes, I have obviously seen fireworks. I've been to fireworks shows, and there is definitely something magical about looking up at the sky and watching them and being around people and experiencing something so different. There's definitely something to all of that. I completely understand that. You got the music playing and the people around you, and there can definitely be a lot of positive feelings to fireworks. There's a scene in the movie The Sandlot where the boys are playing a baseball game on the 4th of July and they all look up at the sky and there are fireworks going off, and you just see this like awe in all of their faces, and it's incredible. You're like, I know that feeling. However, where I live and so many places throughout the world, there are definitely fire seasons where fire danger is high. Even though fireworks are part of different times of the year in different places, to have fireworks on the 4th of July during a very hot and dry time just doesn't seem to make sense. So you've got the professional fireworks and the not professional fireworks going off, and it just takes one spark, unfortunately, to create huge consequences that affect so many people's livelihoods and homes, that put firefighters in danger. Setting off explosives during a hot, dry time doesn't sound like a very responsible thing to do. So that is my first issue with fireworks. Then there's the physical dangers of fireworks. So obviously there are professional shows that happen on these holidays or celebrations or at amusement parks. Even those, I'm sure, have their accidents. But the other kind of fireworks where people go to a fireworks stand, have no training in dealing with explosives, buy fireworks to set off in their communities or in parking lots or wherever they do it. You've basically got people who have no training in doing this, setting off fireworks in the dark. Sometimes people are enjoying adult beverages on these occasions, so they're not always in their most clear minds. And then you've got kids running around in the dark, super excited. So it just seems like a recipe for disaster in terms of accidents and people getting hurt. There's also people with breathing problems, asthma, who are dealing with the effects of all those pollutants in the air after the fireworks go off. Then, of course, young children or just highly sensitive people whose ears can't handle those loud decibels and maybe don't have the ear protection that they need. So there are a lot of physical dangers to fireworks, which is a huge issue. There's definitely been a lot more awareness around the effects of fireworks on people's pets, and I'm so glad to hear that that is coming into people's consciousness more. I know so many people who stay home on 4th of July just so they can comfort their animals. Not all animals, obviously, but a lot of them will become disoriented or really scared. They don't know what is going on with the loud sounds and the flashing with animals that are pets. Obviously, their families can be there and take care of them the best they can, but there's also the animals out in the wild. Many animals will leave their nests when they become scared. They will often get disoriented with the loud sounds and flashing lights, thinking that there's a dangerous situation going on. It leaves a lot of young without their parents or animals who can't find their way back to where their homes are. So that's obviously another big issue I take with fireworks. Then there are the people dealing with PTSD. So veterans or people who have been in dangerous situations with loud, life-threatening noises. For them, even though they might consciously realize these are fireworks, oftentimes a very powerful emotional response to hearing the loud booms and seeing the bright lights. So fireworks can be a huge issue for people who are dealing with PTSD. Then there are the environmental effects of fireworks. Obviously, that's a lot more about what I talk about on this channel. But like I said, all of these I equally take issue with. Fireworks will create pollution in our air that often lingers for far longer than we see all that aftermath of the smoke. Oftentimes, many of these toxins also fall into our waterways. Then you've got all the environmental considerations of making the fireworks and the aftermath of the packaging they came in, whether that was for professional fireworks or non-professional. So there are a lot of issues with the environmental impact of these fireworks as well. I'm sure there are things I'm missing, but considering there are so many negative consequences to fireworks, that it's hard to justify that warm, fuzzy feeling of watching the fireworks show. So there are alternatives. Communities are now hosting laser light shows instead. I wish more amusement parks would do that instead of fireworks. I do hope to post a video of some other little alternatives to fireworks. Nothing can quite compare to actual fireworks, of course, but at least for me, granted, like I said, I'm a bit of the bah humbug of some of these holiday traditions, but when I have been to fireworks shows, it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then it seems to kind of keep going way longer than it needs to. And it's kind of boring just sitting there. So for people who are hoping to give their kids this experience by taking them to see fireworks or setting off fireworks, I think oftentimes kids just want to be moving, and for their safety, the kids really shouldn't be involved in the whole fireworks situation anyway. Even though a lot of my fireworks alternatives that I will have in my video, hopefully, are more crafty and not so much of like watching lights in the sky situation. I think it's a lot more engaging and a way to connect with the friends and family you might have around on some of these holidays instead of just sitting there. Just a thought. If you've watched my whole rant about fireworks, thank you so much for being here and for listening and considering this. I think it's important to just at least step back and reconsider some of what our traditions are and see if they make sense still, and if there's other ways we can go about keeping the spirit of them without having the same consequences and effects of some of these traditions. Happy 4th of July, or whatever holiday you're celebrating with or without fireworks. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching. Your actions can and will make a difference.